My wife revealed, I'm pregnant, but I need a DNA test confirm if it's yours. Or Kyle's my boss. I responded calmly, no issue. Then we booked a DNA test. What the doctor shared at the appointment flipped everything. She said, it at the sink, fingers still wet, voice steady like she'd practiced in the mirror. I'm pregnant, but I need a DNA test to confirm if it's yours or Kyle's. My boss. I dried the plate, set it down. No issue, I said and meant it. We booked an appointment. Non-invasive, clinical, sterile. I marked the date, turned off notifications, smiled the rest of the night like a man watching. Rain approached across a field. We weren't. Always a war. Once we were noise and light, a one-bedroom with thin walls and bigger dreams. We ate noodles on the floor, invented traditions, promised to tell each other the hard things. She wore my hoodie and drafted cover letters, while I fixed the sagging cabinet with 2 screws and hope. The first time she mentioned Kyle, I picture bland, manager with coffee breath and a wedding, ring groove. He sent her to A conference. She brought me back a pen and a story about how he believes in me. I believed in her. That was the difference. The erosion came soft phone, face down, late strategy sessions that smelled like cologne when she crept in. At night, a new laugh I'd never earned. She stopped asking me about my day, started running 2 showers in the same hour. Once I found hotel key card in our junk drawer and she said it was from a girl's night. The hotel's name matched the work receipt. I later tripped over in the printer queue. Hers dated. The same night with 2 martinis and 1 room. In her calendar, a private event. Title QBR blocked out 8 p.m. to midnight quarterly business review. Cute. I did not rage. I did not break things. I started writing. Timelines. Locations. Screenshots of messages left. Open like a dare. Expenses, her sudden. Taste for Friday roses she never brought. Home. I booked an appointment with A lawyer and asked questions instead of telling stories. I learned which accounts were joined, which weren't, which passwords should be changed, which beneficiaries updated. I pulled my grandmother's ring from the nightstand and stored it in a box that didn't live in our house. I mapped Kyle too, not with fantasy, with policy. I read her employee handbook while the dishwasher hummed clause 9.4. No relationships between managers and direct reports. Mandatory disclosure. Consequences. Clear. I ran my own tests in the meantime. Full panel at a clinic across town. Insurance under my name only. No conversations, just results. Clean. Relief. And a note to self. Relief shouldn't feel like innocence. On the morning of the appointment, I brewed coffee. She didn't touch hers. In the car, she scrolled and composed. If it's not yours, we'll figure out, she said, staring out the window at nothing. I nodded. We will. I had already figured most of it out. The clinic was white, noise and magazine racks. We sat side by side, strangers in a waiting room that smelled like lemon wipes. When they called her name, she reached for my hand. I let her have it, warm, trembling. The doctor was gentle. Clipboard, careful eyes, a voice you want to believe. She talked us through the process. Blood, draw for both of us. Swab later, results in days. Then she said, before we do any of that, we confirm the pregnancy. Gel cold screen. Flicker. The room tightened. The wand moved. The doctor frowned, then softened. There's no intrauterine pregnancy. Beat, and I can see an IUD in place. It's seated correctly. Silence. The kind. That changes your name. My wife stared at the monitor as if a baby might appear. out of stubbornness. The doctor went on, professional, kind, precise. She talked us through the process. Blood, draw for both of us, swab later, results in days. Then she said, before we do any of that, we confirm the pregnancy. Gel cold, screen flicker. The room tightened. The wand moved. The doctor frowned, then softened it. There's no intrauterine pregnancy. A beat and I can see an IUD in place. It's seated correctly. Silence. The kind that changes your name. My wife stared at the monitor as if a baby might appear out of stubbornness. The doctor went on, professional, kind, precise. Hormone levels earlier could have been in. Evaporation line on a home test. False. Positive. We could do a blood test to be sure, but right now medically there was no pregnancy. I watched her face fold in on itself, then smooth with speed. She turned to me, already building a new story. Maybe it's too early, she said. The doctor shook her head slowly. At this stage, we would see something. The ID glowed like a tiny anchor on the screen. I didn't speak. Not yet. I let the fluorescent buzz do the talking. The lies had brought us here. The truth held us there. We left with a pamphlet. Neither of us needed. In the elevator, she finally looked at me. Really looked. I handed her a slim folder I'd kept in. My jacket. She didn't take it. I laid it on her lap as the doors opened to the parking lot sun. Inside, a printed timeline, receipts, screenshots, a copy of Clause 9.44 highlighted and drafted. Separation agreement my lawyer had prepared, dated yesterday. The final page was a letter addressed to her HR. Facts. Only no adjectives, no fire. She read the first page and stopped pretending. Please, she said, voice. Not sorry, not. Denial, just a word people grip when the floor isn't where it used to be. You said DNA test. I told her. I brought a different kind. I drove her home and didn't follow her inside. While she packed a bag, I forwarded the HR letter. From my car, evidence attached. I CC'd. Compliance, blind CCD myself, then logged into accounts and removed her as an authorized user like I was untangling a necklace. Neat patient, no knots. Left at 4:17 p.m. I signed a lease on a furnished one-bedroom, 3 streets. Over at 4:39. A reply from HR arrived. We'll begin an investigation. Immediately, I read it twice, not because I doubted it, but because reading it felt like air. She called at 6:02. I let it ring. At 6:04, a text, we can fix this. Then at 6:05, it didn't mean anything. Then at 6:07, I was scared. I believed her last message. I was scared once, too. I had fixed it in my way. 2 days later, a friend in her office sent me a photo of a meeting. Invite, Kyle and HR 9 a.m. conference. Room B. The caption read, he looks like he swallowed a stone. I didn't reply. Stones sink on their own. My lawyer filed the separation the same afternoon. We divided what needed dividing. I didn't take more than was mine. I kept the ring in the box. I asked for the dog, and she didn't fight me. Maybe that was her last kindness. Maybe it was strategy. I didn't need to know. When she finally sat across from me again, it was in a coffee shop too bright for grief. She asked if there was any part of me that still loved her. I took a breath and told the truth. Yes, but that part doesn't get a vote. She nodded like she'd expected it and hoped anyway. That's what we were.